We are going to have a party, and not just any party, but a block party that's super, super huge, and there's lots of people. I am so excited about this month because we get to have a party and we get to learn about friendship like Jesus. We are going to learn how Jesus showed us the greatest example of love when he laid his life down for his friends. With his word and his actions, he showed friendship to everyone he met. We will learn how we can reflect Jesus' love best when we treat one another with friendship. And we're going to do that by learning 4 bottom lines. That's Mr. Matt's favorite number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 bottom lines. And I'm going to tell you about them right now. Our first week, we're going to learn about our first bottom line, and that is choose your friends carefully. That's going to be super important. Week 2, we're going to learn that friends love one another. That's super awesome. Week 3, we will learn that friends encourage one another. Encourage is like helping your friend out and telling them good things so that they can keep going in life. Week 4, we're going to learn that friends forgive one another, because sometimes we get in fights with friends and we have to forgive and we have to ask for forgiveness. And those 4 things are going to help us show love to others just like Jesus loves us. So I'm super excited. Make sure you guys watch all the time, and we'll get started right now.
In this lesson, we will do 7 things. First, we will have worship. Next, we will listen to our Bible story told by our buddies. Then, we will watch our Bible video, followed by WH time to answer small group questions. We will then practice our monthly Bible verse and make a craft. Lastly, we will talk to God by praying.
A friend loves at all times. They are there to help with troubled outcomes. We can show love because we have the very, very best example of love in the person of Jesus. He is always faithful and true. He is always there to help us. So let's sing, let's thank him for being the best friend that we could ever have. Let's go.
Jesus, you have been so faithful. Jesus, you have been so true. I will be forever thankful, 'cause I never had a friend like you. Help me to be who you've been to me, to everyone I see. Let us love one another with a love like no other yet. That's the way you love us, God. Never turn away, you are with us every day, yeah. That's the way you love us, God. Your love has always been beginning to end. There's never been a better friend. So let us love one another with our love like no other, yeah. That's the way you love us, God. You with me in the darkest valley. You with me on the mountaintop. I'm thankful that you never leave me, and that your love will never stop. Help me to be who you've been to me, to everyone I see. Let us love one another with a love like no other yet. That's the way you love us, God. Never turn away, you are with us every day, yeah. That's the way you love us, God. Your love has always been beginning to end. There's never been a better friend. So let us love one another with our love like no other, yeah. That's the way you love us, God. I wanna thank you for being a friend who's always by my side. I wanna thank you for the way you love me all my life. I wanna thank you for being a friend who's always by my side. I wanna thank you for the way you love me all my life.
Hello, and welcome to the Champions Club Block Party. Now, what's a block party? It's a party for the whole block or the whole neighborhood. Now, in our case, it means an epic Champions Club party that lasts all month long, and everybody is invited. That's because we're celebrating something that is super special this month. That's friendship. We're going to be celebrating friendship. Friendship, it's using your words and actions to show others that you care.
I'm so glad that we're throwing a party this month in Champions Club. One of my favorite parts of a party is all the decorating. I've got all of these great decorations that I'll need to put up still. But I'm excited about these balloons. I've got 4 of them. I thought it might be cool to use them as part of our story while we talk about friendship.
Hey, did we book a DJ too?
No, I totally forgot about the DJ.
All right, well, while you use the balloons, I'll get the DJ song to help tell the story too.
Thank you. That works out nicely.
Friendship is so important that we're throwing a party to celebrate it. We know that friendship, it really matters to God. He wants us to be good friends to others, and He wants us to have friends all around us who can support us and help us and push us towards God. Today, we'll take a look at some verses in the book of Ecclesiastes. Now say that with me, Ecclesiastes. This is a wisdom book, and these verses will explain why friendship is such a big deal. So we'll be going right in here, Ecclesiastes.
Yeah, did you know that a lot of people believe that the book of Ecclesiastes was written by King Solomon, the son of King David? When Solomon was a young king, God gave him the chance to ask for anything he wanted.
Anything?
Anything. And God promised He would give it to him. Solomon could have asked for money, or to be popular, or to win a fight against his enemies. But instead, Solomon asked God for wisdom.
That was very wise of him to ask that, I guess you could say. And guess what? God, He gave Solomon the wisdom he asked for. Solomon, he's known as one of the wisest men to have ever lived. Wisest. In this whole Bible, Solomon is up there. So we're going to take a look at the book of Ecclesiastes and discover why friendship is so important.
That's right. We are going to study 4 important things about friendship. 4, that's your favorite number.
My
4.
favorite number. Miss Trisha will decorate with those balloons that she has that will help us remember the 4 points about friendship. And I'm going to play 4 songs to help us remember as well.
Because you're the DJ.
Because I'm the DJ. All right, so here we go. Our first song, let me know if you guys recognize it.
Okay.
A little carried away there.
So, why is friendship important? First, friends get more done.
2 people are better than 1. Now, we learned this the other week with our craft. We had to work together to pick up the cups. You guys remember that? So 2 people, they work better than 1. They can help each other in everything they do. That's what Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9 tells us.
Think about all the great things friends can do when they work together, like making music in a band. Sure, you can play the drums by yourself, but it's way more fun when you have a friend.
How about camping in your backyard? If you really tried, you could probably set up a tent by yourself.
Probably.
It would be way easier with a friend. Plus, then you get to share s'mores and laugh together and maybe tell scary stories.
When friends put their talents and hard work together, they can get more done. That's one cool thing about friendship. But let's move on to our second point. Number 2. Friends help each each other.
All right, so with a couple friends now, suppose either of them falls down. Then the other one can help the other one up. But suppose a person falls down and doesn't have anyone to help them up. Then you'll feel sorry for that person. And that's going to be found in Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse number 10.
A friend might literally help you get up if you fall down. A friend can also help you feel better when you're having a bad day. You helped me last week when I had a bad day.
Now maybe a friend who's really tall can help you reach something that you need to get on the top shelf. Maybe your friend who's good at writing can check your grammar for you. Friends can help each other with anything.
So far, we learned friends get more done and friends help each other. But what else? Let's see. Somebody. You must. Okay. Friends stand up for each other.
One person can be overpowered, but two people can stand up for themselves. And that's going to be in Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse number 12.
If you've ever felt alone when you're trying to find somewhere to sit at lunch, you know how good it feels when a friend invites you to sit with them? If you've ever been picked on by someone mean and had a friend come rescue you, you know how important it is that that friend stands up for you. Hopefully you have stood up for a friend too.
Yeah, so now we know. Friends get more done, and friends help each other. Friends stand up for each other. Now what else can we learn about friendship from the book of Ecclesiastes?
I think we have one more.
All right, so we're going to open our Bible up to Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse number 12, and read.
All right, it says, a rope made out of 3 cords isn't easily broken. See? A rope is made from different strands that are tied together. One strand by itself wouldn't be very strong, but with 2 strands, it's much stronger. A rope made with 3 strands is even stronger than that. Friendship is like that too. 2 friends are better than 1 person alone, but it gets even better when you add a 3rd.
All right, so what our Bible tells us is that a rope with 3 cords is the strongest. So your friendship is the strongest when it's between you, your friend, and God.
All right, here we go. It says, friends trust God together. When you're facing hard things or you're just not sure what to do, you can ask a friend to pray for you. Or maybe you can talk to God together. Your friend might remind you of a Bible verse that promises that God will be with you. When you share tough things with a friend, both of you can ask God for help.
All right. In these verses from our Bible, in the book of Ecclesiastes, we can find 4 very important things that are true about friends and about friendship. So let's count them out. Number 1, friends, they get more done, which is going to be our pink balloon. Number 2, friends, they help each other, which is our yellow balloon. Number 3, friends, they stand up for each other, which is our blue one down there. And the 4th thing, and the final, is that friends trust God together, which is this green one right here.
We should try to be friends with everyone. But, of course, all of us have friends who we choose to spend time with and listen to most of all. When it comes to the people who are closest to you, it's important to find friends who will help you trust God. Your closest friends should be able to help you love God and love others.
That's why you should choose your friends carefully. And remember, we should also choose to be this kind of friend to others as well. Ask God to help you to have good friendships that will help you grow closer to Him.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verses 9 through 12.
The writer of Ecclesiastes tells us 2 people are better than 1. They can help each other in everything they do. Suppose either of them falls down, then the one can help the other one up. But suppose a person falls down and doesn't have anyone to help them up. Then feel sorry for that person. One person could be overpowered, but 2 people can stand up for themselves. And a rope made with 3 cords isn't easily broken. Let's see how this might play out in someone's life today. Jackson slid into the small school theater and took a seat in the back row and waited for Mr. Ray, the music and arts teacher. It looked like there was only one other kid who showed up to build the set for the 5th grade production of Charlotte's Web, Amal from Mrs. Wiseman's class. Hey.
Hi.
The 2 boys sat there in awkward silence until Mr. Ray showed up.
Ah, my set team. Fantastic. You guys know each other?
Kinda.
Different classes.
Well, you're gonna get to spend a lot of time together in the next 2 weeks as we build this set and get it painted. You guys got any experience with power tools?
Jackson could see Amal shift nervously in his seat.
No, I don't want to go on stage. Miss Wiseman said I could do this instead.
Don't worry, I'll teach you what you need to know. How about you, Jackson?
I'm pretty good with a hammer, and I didn't want to wear some silly animal costume.
The 2 boys basically ignored each other as Mr. Ray showed them how to measure each piece of lumber for him to cut, and then he helped them lay out the pieces in a large frame.
Now, this'll be one of the wall flats for the backdrop. We'll paint it as part of the barn. Amal, you want a hammer in these nails?
I guess.
Hold it more like this. Don't worry, you'll get it.
I'll do this side.
Jackson nailed together the entire flat while Amal still struggled with one corner.
What a klutz.
But it was a different story the next day when they started to paint.
This flat is part of our barn wall. I want you guys to paint a couple of chickens right there.
Amal grabbed a brush right away.
Oh, do you want them to look like real chickens or like cartoons?
Just give them your own personal spin.
Amal got to work right away, creating an entire palette of colors while Jackson was still trying to figure out which brush to pick.
Now, I've got to run down to the art room. Amal, why don't you show Jackson how to get started?
I don't really...
Mr. Ray smiled at them both.
He needs a hand. I think you guys will make a great team.
Mr. Ray hurried out. Jackson and Amal avoided each other's eyes.
Well, I'll sketch an outline for the chickens.
What do I do?
Just, fill it in.
I'm not really an artist.
Jackson dipped his brush randomly in the blue paint and frowned at Amal's outline.
Just have fun with it.
Jackson swiped the blue brush, outlining a wing.
I've never seen a blue chicken.
Oh.
It's great. It'll stand out.
Oh. Thanks.
By the time Mr. Ray returned, Jackson was surprised to discover that he and Amal had already painted 5 brilliant hued chickens. Mr. Ray grinned.
I've never seen a more flamboyant flock.
Jackson held out his fist to Amal, and Amal, surprised, gave him a fist bump.
Yep, see you boys tomorrow.
The next day, Amal showed up with a bruised finger on his left hand.
I can still paint with my right.
What happened?
Mr. Kunkel keeps putting me in as goalie during PE, and then I mess it up, and everyone on the team gets mad at me.
Do you stay on your toes? Keep your eye on the ball?
No. I just panic when the ball comes at me.
Look, I can show you some tips later in the parking lot, before my mom comes.
Really? That would be great.
And Jackson turned out to be a pretty good teacher because Amal managed to get 2 blocks during PE the next day. And when Jackson showed up to paint sets, stressed out by a math test, Amal grabbed his textbook.
Fractions?
Ow, I see all these weird numbers and I freeze up.
You just have to break it down like this.
With Amal's help, Jackson managed to stay calm during his test the next day. And by the middle of the next week, they had completed the entire backdrop for Charlotte's Web.
Well done. I knew you 2 would make a great team.
Amal's pretty okay.
Jackson's not too terrible.
Look, I know you guys are really different from each other, but it's boring if all your friends are just like you.
Together, they started gathering wood scraps and wiping off brushes.
Seriously, one of the wisest men to ever live pointed this out. Solomon.
Solomon?
Yep. He's this king in the Bible. He was a builder and an artist and super rich too. But for all the things he had, you know what he valued most? Friendship. He says it like this: 2 people are better than 1. They can help each other in everything they do.
On point.
Yeah.
Amal held out his fist, and Jackson tapped it with his own. Maybe Solomon and Mr. Ray were onto something.
Friends make life so much better. They allow us to get more done. They help us. They stand up for us, and they help us trust God more. That's why it's so important to do this. Choose your friends carefully. Say that with me. Choose your friends carefully.
Think about your closest friends. Do you help each other? Do you stick up for each other? Do your closest friends help you to trust Jesus? After all, Jesus is the ultimate friend who is always with us. Now, when I think about friends, I think of my friend Trisha, who helped me. She helped me be in this ministry, and she helped me grow my faith. I'm so glad God brought Trisha into my life and that we choose to be each other's friend. There have been times when I've been able to help Trisha too.
Actually, when I think about my friends, I think about Mr. Matt. Last week, I was having a really hard day, and Mr. Matt just spent some time with me, and we just talked it through. And I'm super glad that God brought him into my life.
Let's all be sure to choose our friends carefully, and also treat our friends carefully. But not just our friends, treat everyone carefully, and everyone with kindness and love. That doesn't just extend to our friends, it's everybody. After all, one of the best ways to find a friend is to be a friend. We're just getting started with our Champions Club block party.
Yeah.
Right up there. So make sure you tune in every week this month. We'll see you guys later.
What's up, champs? It's time for our WH time. I'm gonna ask the questions and Mr. Matt's gonna answer them because he's got the wisdom. We got 4. Should we count them? 2, 3, 4. Okay, so our first question. What book of the Bible was our story from today?
Now, this is a tough word to say, so it's going to be Ecclesiastes. Now say that with me. It was from the book of Ecclesiastes.
I have a hard time saying that. We also had 4 things that we learned. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you list them?
Yep, and they're actually right here in our balloons. So the first one, friends get more done together. That's number 1. Number 2, friends, they help each other. Number 3 is friends stand up for each other. And number 4 is friends trust God together.
What's your favorite?
I think friends trusting God together is my favorite.
That's a bonus question. Okay, question number 3. What's the best way to make a friend?
Well, there's lots of ways to make a friend, but probably the best way to make a friend is to be a friend. Maybe be kind to someone, help someone out, love someone. When we be a friend to somebody, they'll want to be our friend back.
That's awesome. Okay, so our last question, question number 4 is, why is a 3-strand cord the best?
Ooh, this is a tough one. Now, a 3-stranded cord is the best because it involves 3 different things. It involves you, your friend, and God. And that is the strongest kind of bond, the strongest cord that we can ever have. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed those questions and this story today. We have a fun craft for you guys, so stick around for that, and we'll see you later.
All right, champs, it's time to practice our monthly Bible verse. So we have a brand new one today, and it comes from the book of Proverbs, and it can be found in chapter 17, verse 17. And it says, "A friend loves at all times. They are there to help when trouble comes." Let's say it again. A friend loves at all times. They are there to help when trouble comes. And that's in Proverbs 17:17.
What's up, champs? Mr. Matt here for our craft this week. I hope you guys enjoyed that story and that lesson from the book of Ecclesiastes. And I have my Bible open right here, the section that we talked about, chapter 4, a lot of wisdom in there. Ecclesiastes is a wisdom book. Now we have our craft today. It's going to be making a little scene with 3 people. And what does it say? It says, "A rope of 3 is stronger." That's going to be from Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 12. Now the full verse, it says, "One person could be overpowered, but 2 people can stand up for themselves. A rope made out of 3 isn't easily broken." So 3 being you, a friend, and this other representation is going to be God. It's going to be Jesus is that 3rd person, and that's the rope of 3. So we'll need a couple things in our craft today. We'll need a paper plate or something like this as our background. We'll need a glue stick, a Sharpie, maybe some popsicle sticks or anything else you can use to make little people, and some markers or colored pencils or crayons. All right, now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write out the verse. Now it's going to say, "A rope of 3 is stronger." So it's nice and careful here. All right, so that's written out. Does it say a rope of 3 is stronger? Okay, so now we can make our background. Now I'm going to make maybe a little grassy hill. So I'm gonna use some blue for the sky, maybe some different color greens. So now we get to color in our background. All right, and look at that. Now our background is all done. Got maybe some ocean down here, the blue sky and some rolling hills. Nice and pretty background, look at that. Okay, now we get to decorate our little stick figures. Now the first thing I like to do is draw a little smiley face on our friends here. That's a big smile, just like that, that's one. Maybe add some eyebrows. There we go. 3 faces are done. Now it is time to put some clothes on our little friends here. Maybe we can wear some purple. All right, friend number 1, maybe they got a nice little dress. And maybe we want to add some hair. Maybe if you're a blonde or have orange hair. All right, so person number 1, friend number 1 is all done. All right, now I'm gonna make this person our friend Jesus. Now Jesus, he's gonna be purple. He's gonna be purple because this is a color of royalty. And Jesus, he's our king and he's our friend. It's a pretty good friend to have, isn't it? All right, there's our friend Jesus and his beautiful purple robes. Look at that. All right, maybe this last person is us. The crazy eyebrows, just like Mr. Matt. Maybe Mr. Matt wants to wear some blue. All right, now that we're all done, we have our 3 little friends here. You got Jesus, you got maybe you, and maybe one of your friends right there. So now, we get our glue stick out. We're just gonna put some glue on the background. Three strips of glue for your 3 little characters. Now I'm gonna put Jesus in the middle, right here. And our friends on either side, just like that. So what does it say? It says, a rope of 3 is stronger. And who are the 3 people? Well, it's gonna be you, it's gonna be your friend, it's gonna be Jesus. And that is the strongest bond of friendship, the strongest bond that we can have with one another. So I hope you guys have fun with this. Be creative. You don't have to follow exactly what I did. Maybe you can use a different type of character, different background. Maybe you can put some stickers on it, whatever you want to do. But make sure we have the verse and our 3 little friends there. So hope you guys had fun, and we'll see you next week.
Hey champs, it's time for us to talk to God. So I want you guys to stop everything you're doing, open your mind, soften your heart. We put our hands together and we close our eyes and we say, Dear God, thank you for loving us. Thank you for loving us and sending us your son Jesus, just so that we can have a relationship with you, have a friendship with you, Lord. We love that so much, and we don't take that lightly, Lord. I ask that you show us opportunities where we can love like Jesus and love others. I ask that you remind us how we can help others and how we can stand up for our friends. And God, I ask for you to give us wisdom when we choose our friends, Lord. Wisdom like you gave Solomon. Lord, you have shown us that if we just ask and wait patiently, you will open doors for us, and let us see those doors open so we can love like you and just make new friends, love others, and show your love to the world. We ask this all in your great name. Amen.
Thanks for joining us.
There are lots of ways to stay connected with us during the week on our website, scgchurch.org, Facebook, and Instagram. Be sure to tag us so we can be a part of your church at home worship experience.
How can we pray for you? Call or text your prayer request to 714-750-9222, or you can email scgkids@seacoastgrace.org. We'll see you next week.